Hi guys, what's good with you? Welcome to my channel. If this is your first time on this channel, here we usually talk about grammar, idiomatic expressions, and pronunciation. So learning English or any foreign language is crucial, but I don't think I have to remind you of that because the very fact that you have chosen to click on this video tells me that acquiring knowledge is a commitment that you have already made. So today, guys, I've decided to go over some idiomatic expressions with you that I think you, as an English learner, should know. But first off, I would like to thank each one of you for having subscribed to this channel. Yo, it's nice to know that I actually hit 400 subscribers. All glory to God by the time I was making this video. And I'm kind of relieved because I don't work this hard to be overlooked. Well, I'm about to start this week's lesson, but before we kick off, I'm gonna need you to grab a piece of paper and a pen so you guys can write down as many expressions as possible so that when we're done with this video, you can actually go back to them in order to memorize each expression. Now take a seat, class is in session. First things first, an idiom is a group of words established by usage as having a meaning not quite deducible from those of the individual words. So it's not always easy to guess the meaning of an unknown idiom. Idioms help us express feelings in a more illustrated way. The first idiomatic expression that we're gonna go over today is apple of my eye. Look, the reason that I like this expression is because apple is one of my favorite fruit. I think just saying apple makes my mouth water, And the eyes, as you know, are the organs of sight. That's why you need to study idioms, guys, because the words are often used metaphorically and it's not always easy to guess the meaning. Apple of my eye, someone or something that one cherishes above all others. For example, my daughter is the apple of my eye. Cry a river. Kids usually like to cry crocodile tears in order to get what they want. Not only kids, but some grown women too. They like to play damsel in distress in order to get what they want. We guys do it differently. We might want to talk sweet in order to persuade. It's actually said sarcastically to someone whose tears fall on unsympathetic ears. It's something I would say to my niece. You can cry me a river, but I will not let you play with that knife. You might hurt yourself. Dance around the point to avoid discussing something or dealing with it directly. Some people are really good at doing this, like they might pretend to be checking on you, whereas what they really need is a favor from you. You could still help them out, but you could use this expression to let them know that you're not silly. For example, stop dancing around the point. I know you are here to ask for money. End all be all. The ultimate goal or most important part of something. For example, for most people, being successful is the end all be all, which means that the goal is to be successful. That's the goal that everyone is trying to achieve. But not everyone is willing to put in work towards that goal. There's no way you're gonna become successful if you don't put in work. Not happening. Anybody that tells you otherwise is lying to you. Get one's feet wet. To begin doing a new activity in a slow and simple way in order to become familiar with it. Look, me personally, I think I'm an introvert. I mean, I'm not really outgoing and talkative, hardly speak unless what I'm saying is important. Whereas most of my friends enjoy hanging out and partying. So maybe I should start getting my feet wet. Get one's point across to make people understand what one is saying. For example, I hate being misunderstood. I'll always try to get my point across. God forbid, used in speech to say that one hopes a bad thing will not happen. It's basically something you would say right before saying something harmful or offensive to let the person know that you don't actually wish that to happen. But still, just in case it would ever happen, here's your opinion or feeling about it. The verb forbid itself means to refuse to allow. It's like you were saying that God will not allow it to happen. For example, if God forbid you got into an accident, I'll be sad. Good thing. Fortunately, it is lucky. For example, good thing I didn't go there. There was a terrible accident. Fortunately, I stayed home. Otherwise, I could have been amongst the victims. Have egg on one's face. Let me show you a picture to illustrate this expression. So, how would you feel if you were in that lady's shoes and you had to walk in your neighborhood? Well, exactly. Ashamed. That's exactly what this expression means. To be ashamed, to be embarrassed as a result of some public failure or faux pas. In other words, to look foolish. or to be embarrassed by something one has done. For example, he had lied during the electoral campaign, now he has egg on his face. I didn't know if my girlfriend was unfaithful. It turned out that she was cheating on me with a guy that lives overseas. All the while she had been lying to my face. Now that I have found out the truth, she has egg on her face. Yo, I hate being cheated on. I mean, she had the nerves to tell me that I was the only guy she was talking to. That's why I'm single because I'd rather be the guy you cheat with than the guy you cheat on. If anything, it is used to suggest tentatively that something may be the case. For example, if anything, this channel will have 1,000 of subscribers next week. It shows or it goes to show. Use the for saying that a particular fact is proved by what happened. For example, my niece really likes candies and it shows. Leave on read. A person is left on read when a recipient has read but hasn't responded to their message. This expression is often used to express feeling ignored. For example, I texted my girlfriend last night but she left me on read. Let alone. Not to be confused with leave alone. It actually means not to mention, to say nothing of, needless to say. It is used to indicate that something is far less likely than something else already mentioned. For example, you can't even ride a bike, let alone drive a car. Let sleeping dogs lie. Not talking about past arguments. If you ain't the type of person to hold a grudge, you can use this expression to tell your friend to forget about past arguments that you had. Make room for. To clear a certain amount of space to allow someone else or something else to fit as well. For example, please make room for the other customers. Out of the blue, without warning, unexpectedly. For example, like Adele said in her song, I hate to turn up out of the blue uninvited. Put someone on the spot. To force them to answer a difficult question or make a decision in a rush. For example, the students really put their teacher on the spot. Ring a bell. To seem familiar, remind one of something. For example, she said that we met before, but her name doesn't ring a bell. Under one's breath, in a very quiet voice, almost inaudibly. For example, when she is angry, she swears under her breath. Way to go. This expression is used to say congratulations. It is used to tell someone that he or she has done something well. For example, your nephew has done well in school, you can say, good job, kiddo, way to go. Well, that's it for me today, guys. It's been such a pleasure being with you. Thank you all for watching. Stay in school, learn a new skill, find your passion, start a side hustle. You never know which one is going to bring food on your table. But at the end of the day, being knowledgeable actually pays off. I'll see you next time. Bye.